What's up, YouTube? This is Nick, the creator and owner of Nova Comics, and today we're doing episode 2 of the origins of superhero slash villain. Okay? And today's origin story is going to be about my character named Badger. And I know you're going to find some similarities to Wolverine, because Badger is basically my Wolverine. If you couldn't tell, Wolverine, Badger, kind of the part of the same family. But his look is different. He has some similar powers. So let's just get into the Badger. Okay, so the Badger is part of the Nez Perce Native American tribe. He is a Native American. His real name is, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Ahuli, Ahuli, I think, Ahuli. I don't know, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it, but that's how it is, okay? He was a spirited young member of his tribe, but when he was in his younger years, his life took a tragic turn, like massive impact. Him and a couple other members of his tribe were abducted by a shadowy organization. I will not tell you who they are. They will have their own origin story, but he was taken by them, and when he was in their I'm not going to say care, but when he was taken, by them and was in their little laboratory, Ahuli slash the Badger, he endured relentless, and I mean like every day for hours upon hours of experiments. So some of his experience were his bones were infused, with eucronium, which is basically, what is Black Panther, the metal they use, that's basically mine, right? Eucronium is my version of that, right? It's the strongest metal in my universe, eucronium. So his bones were infused with it, right? It's a rare and potent metal known for its unmatched strength. So that was eucronium, and Badger's bones were infused with this metal. Okay? So Ahuli's whole body was altered beyond recognizing him. You couldn't. It was different, right? He gained from all these experiments, because basically these people, I'm not going to tell you the organization name, what I made up. These people were trying to make soldiers for, to fight the government and all the other big powers in the world. So they were trying to make superhuman soldiers, and they did whatever they wanted to do with no one stopping them, because the government didn't know anything about this. So the powers he got, the powers he was made to get, because he didn't really have a choice in the matter. He was not a mutant. He was not blah, blah, blah. He wasn't nothing. He was just a Native American young boy living his life. That's it. Nothing unordinary about him, right? So the powers he has gained through these experiments are superhuman strength, a healing factor, which can heal the worst of scars, the worst of wounds, blah, blah, blah. His fingers were equipped with razor sharp claws. So, you know how Wolverine, his claws come out of his knuckles? 3. It's more like Sabretooth when his nails grow, but when Badger's nails grow, they're metal. Okay? Because of the metal infused bones he has. Okay? And the claws are capable of slicing through almost anything in their path. Brick, other metals, as I said, this metal, Uchronium, is the strongest metal in this universe. He has enhanced reflexes that turned him into a blur of motion. So he's quick now. He's not like flash quick, not even, I don't know, but he's quick. And his eyes were made to see in the dark, right? So when it's dark outside for night missions, right? His eyes have night vision now. But despite suffering all these experiments and everything that he was forced to do, he remained unbroken, right? The Badger was not broken. Never give up, never give in. All right? Over time, Badger had this, found a way to escape his captivity, right? Because he was captured. He had no choice in the matter. And when he escaped, he vowed to use his newfound abilities to protect those who couldn't defend themselves, and adapting the moniker Badger. So from when he was born to when he escaped, he was known as Ahuli, right? But once he escaped, he became the Badger. And the reason he chose the Badger, right, was because it was a nod to his resilience and ferocity. And once he escaped, he had to get used to the world again. He didn't really, he was a kid when he, got abducted, right? So he had to get used to the world, learn new things. So now that he has escaped, he just roams the world as a solitary guardian and a fierce warrior driven by justice and a deep connection to his Nez Perce heritage, right? Because he is a Nez Perce Native American. So basically, the Badger's story is a story of redemption and reclaiming his identity, because he got that taken away from him by force, right? While he's battling with all that and trying to get his identity back, he's dealing with the consequences of his transformation. And his path is marked by a relentless pursuit of those responsible for his ordeal, right? His kidnapping, his transformation. But he's also dealing with his own inner demons and finding solace in the strength of his convictions, right? So basically, once he was transformed, once he got all this stuff put into his body, he was made to do things he was not proud of. He's killed people, because he couldn't really do anything about it, right? He was a young boy when he got taken. What are you going to do to a whole, basically, group of people, right? And although that he escaped, even though he escaped, the people that took him always will have a mark on him permanently, because he was a regular young man, right? A regular young boy, and now he's something completely different. He's basically an animal, right? Because he has the characteristics of a badger. Ding, ding, ding. The Uchronium laced through his bones made him nearly unbreakable, and his claws, once simply a part of him, were now deadly weapons. Because, everybody has nails, but now his nails grew when he needed to, and they were metal. They were not like, ours. And his healing factor kept him alive through injuries that would kill a normal person, right? He's been stabbed, he's been shot, he's been whatever you could think of, he's been, except his head has never been chopped off, right? As the years passed, he realized that he wasn't aging like he should. Time seemed to move forward without him, right? So even though time is moving normally for everybody else, he does not age, right? Because at first, so this is how his whole thing went, right? When he got abducted, from the time that he abducted, he was like 13, right? 13, but they had to wait till he was like a good enough age to take all this punishment and all this training and all this, experimentation, right? So, they waited probably like when he was, since he 20, like in his early 20s, they waited. So he, through like 13 to when he turned 20, in his early 20s, somewhere in there, he was trained. Every day he had to be trained, fighting skills, blah, blah, blah. Because at that point, he didn't have his powers, but he needed to be trained, right? He needed to be almost basically brainwashed, right? And so basically, he was a wandering warrior, right? He was a lone wolf, basically. He tried to return to his tribe and, wanting to reclaim his life that was stolen from him. He didn't have a choice. But the years have passed, like after the years, after he escaped, he was a solo warrior, lone wolf, fighting for justice, peace, and blah, blah. But then eventually, after years of doing that, he wanted to come back to where he was brought up, get his life back. But too many years have passed. His family was gone. His home changed. And he found himself a stranger among his own people, right? Because now all the people that did know him as a young boy, he looks completely different. He has aged years. So, boom, right? And rumors of the man who never aged spread through some still saw the boy they once knew, right? So all the people that do so, like let's say this person or this person, right? The people that still kind of had a thought, oh, that's still the kid that got abducted, right? Spread those rumors, a man who never aged, right? All right. Others viewed him as something unnatural, more beast than man, because he got all this stuff put in him, right? So basically, by all of this alienation by his tribe, right? Because he did not fit in anymore. He wasn't like them anymore. He went into the wild, went into the forest, and he lived off the land as his ancestors once did, right? So back in the day, Native Americans lived off the land, hunted buffalo, blah, 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 right? So that's what he had to do. Though his enhanced abilities made him a force of nature, he adopted the name Badger in honor of the animal's fierce, unyielding spirit, small but never backing down from a fight, and the fact that his powers or his enhanced abilities matched what the badger could do. All right, so he saw badgers. He he observed them, blah blah blah, and he's like, wait, I can do exactly what they can do, right? They have night vision, they have claws, they have, blah blah blah. All right, but his solitude, even though technically in the forest he was not alone, technically, if you count animals, right? Because he had friends that were badgers, that were, bears, that were a ton of animal friends. But, some people that's solitude, some people it's not, whatever. But once this solitude did not last forever. The shadowy organization that created him wasn't finished. They hunted him. They always wanted him back because he was the best soldier they created, right? They wanted to reclaim him, right? Again, they made him the best soldier. He was the best of all of the people they captured. And if he refused, they wanted to destroy him. So either destroy or take him back, right? And it was during one of these brutal encounters that Huli / the Badger crossed paths with another character Mhm. A team of heroes who saw past his animalistic fury and recognized the man beneath the claws. So the team, everybody knows since episode 1, the team name is Omega Knights. Alright? Alright. And so basically, Mystic, who was the first episode, saw Badger in the woods, and they become very close in future comics and all that. That's what I have planned. But they will become close. So Mystic saw Badger and invited him to join the Omega Knights. So joining the Omega Knights was not easy for the Badger, right? Badger. He struggled with violent instincts, often clashing with his teammates, but his tactical mind and raw combat skills made him a valuable asset. Despite his gruff exterior, there were moments of quiet vulnerability, hints of the boy who once ran through the Nez Perce lands laughing and free. Right? Right. Now, the Badger fights not only for the world, but for his people, those he lost, and those who still endure. He carries the weight of his past like a second skin. Every battle a step towards redemption. His ultimate goal? To decimate the organization that made him what he is, and to ensure no one else suffered the way he did. That's basically the Badger. A Huli, a Nez Perce boy that was turned into a weapon. So, if you like this story and want to learn more about the Badger, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next episode. Nova Comics flies like the stars. Bye!